then putting an end to emotional eating. Quick solutions to help you control the urge.
Serving all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
All right, Raul, thanks so much. Well, does this sound familiar to you? You're sitting on the couch, you're eating a bag of potato chips, and all of a sudden you look down, the whole bag is gone. You have taken the whole thing down. That happens to a lot of us a lot. And in today's Food as Medicine, Krista Arecchio of The Whole Journey is back to explain the root causes of emotional eating. Okay, you say the first step is we have to determine what kind of eater we are.
Yes. So when I say that, I mean, are you a stand at the kitchen counter type of eater? Are you an eat in your car eater? Or are you eating while you check your email? Really, what's your relationship with food like? Do you pay attention to it?
Okay, so you've got to pinpoint that. Then you say there's a difference between a primary food and a secondary food. Explain that for me, if you would.
That's a really good theory that we use in the practice to help people, first of all, understand if they're emotionally eating.
Okay.
So primary foods are the things that feed you other than food in ways that food can't. So career satisfaction, spiritual connection, exercise you enjoy, and relationships. So those things really feed us in ways that food can't, and I call secondary food the food that we eat. This stuff is secondary food, and if there's an imbalance in a primary food, there's typically an imbalance in a secondary food.
So you're saying because we're feeling emotionally, down or whatever, then we're eating it to fill that void.
To fill it. Let's say you're bored at your job. So my clients, let's say if they're bored at their job, they're going to drink a lot more coffee and they're going to eat a lot more sweets because they need the false stimulation to keep them going.
Yes.
People who are lonely at night, they tend to go more for sweets and those types of things. And so it's really evaluating, are you physically hungry? And if you're not, why are you eating?
Okay, let's talk about the difference between mindless versus mindful eating.
Okay. We are sitting on the couch watching TV, and that's what you just talked about. And so that type of mindless eating is just eating out of habit. You get home at night, you get a bag of chips, or you're going to grab your sweets or your cookies or your candy.
That looks so good.
And it's everybody's been gravitating towards this morning. I know, right? I'm going to leave this here for you guys. So you're going for all this stuff, and before you know it, the bag is gone.
Right.
Or your head is in your email, and you look down, and the bowl of whatever you're eating is empty, and you think, where did that go? Who ate that? Yes.
I ate it.
Mindless eating. We eat 30% more when we're not paying attention to our food. And when we are paying attention to our food, we can eat less and have a better relationship with food.
Okay, so let's talk about the 5 steps for stopping emotional eating for good. The first one, you say we need to actually keep a food journal. We need to write things down.
It's really good to bring consciousness and awareness to your habits. So if you can bring a food journal, start keeping it, not looking for calories in, calories out. We're really looking for signs of physical and emotional balance and imbalance. So where were you when you ate? How hungry were you? How much was it? And what
were the triggers,
was the mood
maybe?
You were in?
Okay.
Exactly. It's just really evaluating 2 seconds before you have something. Why are you having it without any judgment? That's
and then
really
probably
important.
You'll notice a pattern if you keep that journal.
Exactly.
Okay, this show was on when I ate, or this commercial came on, or whatever.
Exactly. Exactly. Then you can start to understand your habits and patterns. And then we can talk about, mindful eating.
Yes.
And I suggest 1 mindful meal a day. I know everybody's busy and we can't, sit down all of the time, but 1 mindful meal a day where you're not reading a magazine, you're not in front of the TV, you're just sitting there with your food and having a conversation, or you're by yourself, where you're chewing. You brought this up right before, where you're chewing 20 times each bite.
20, did you hear that? 20 times a bite. We need to we need to physically count, because we're not chewing enough, and then we're getting full too fast, right?
We're not chewing enough, and then we're actually not getting full. If you're eating too quickly, then you're going to eat more, because it takes 20 minutes for your brain to tell your body it's had enough food.
Okay.
You want to eat until you're 80% full. Chew 20 times each bite with this mindful meal until it's liquid.
Okay.
Then your digestive system doesn't have to work nearly as hard, because you're sending good enzymes and already digested food down to your stomach.
Okay, you said we also need to ask ourselves before we eat, am I physically hungry?
Yeah. I always say physical hunger strikes below the neck. You can feel the physiological symptoms of hunger versus your mind might be craving something.
Okay.
That's really important. Taking a deep breath before you sit down to a meal. And other parts of mindful eating. Can you tell me what that meal looked like? What it smelled like? What it tasted like?
Right.
The texture? Do you really have the experience of having a meal?
Okay.
Because that's true nourishment. You know, this is Food as Medicine series. If we're really using food as medicine, it's truly nourishing us versus really just to serve a biological function.
The other day I picked up a Laffy Taffy on the couch.
Halloween.
And I thought to myself, no, it's not even because it's Halloween, it's because I like Laffy Taffy and they're in my house, but I thought to myself, am I bored? Or am I really hungry and I really need this Laffy Taffy? And I decided I was bored. I still ate the Laffy Taffy, but I decided I was bored.
But you did it consciously.
But at least thought about it.
Yeah, you thought about it.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
All right, to get in touch with clinical nutritionist Krista Orecchio, all you have to do is go to our website. Her practice, The Whole Journey, is located in Encinitas. The phone number is up on your screen right now. And once again, we have linked it to our Seen On page. Okay, Krista, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Raul, back over to you.